What's up, peoples?
What's going on? What's going on?
Once again, back is the incredible
Rhyme Animal.
The uncannibal thief. Public enemy number one.
We've all been in an impasse on this new Batman movie, so we're trying to figure out, was it gonna fail or be successful? And as we talk, I'll get into my reasons of why I had my opinion about it. But all of us, well, actually, let's hear David's opinion about the, let's say, DC and their whole situation. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, well, drop your opinion first. How about that? Your opinion
about
of before we
upcoming...
see Batman.
Okay.
Your opinion, but explain it with the context, in context, and then we'll hit Brother Jay and see what he has to say.
It's gonna be
can't with you, bro. I can't with you, bro.
Wait till your turn. Wait till your turn.
I ain't say nothing at all.
Your energy. We already
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Now, the Batman, because it's not just Batman. You know, you know, they switch things up. My opinion is the movie may be okay for DC. Like, I'm not going to say it's going to be bad. It may be entertaining. I think what's going to really push it into a direction of people's like, yo, that was fire. And all of the DC fans like rallying behind it is going to be the villains. I really think Colin Farrell that did the Penguin. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. I think he's going to knock it out the park. I haven't seen enough of the Riddler to come up with an opinion. I think it's gonna kind of be creepy and dark. As far as like Robert Pattinson as the Batman, I think that may fall flat. So I'm not expecting much. I'm gonna just go in just to be entertained, and if it blows me away, then I'm gonna be like, cool. I'm just not sold that DC, with all of the tools that they have, can put together a good movie outside of what are they like 2 for 8, 2 for 10? You know,
I don't know.
You know, in regards to like
You don't make it to the playoffs with those numbers. I just want you to know.
You said they 2 for 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like their movies,
which
like
two?
Recent, I'm going to give Wonder Woman 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to give the Joker. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Joker's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Shazam is 3.
Oh, Shazam. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you Shazam.
Okay.
So with that's 3 for out of, you know, Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Aquaman, what was the other ones? The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Oh, the Suicide Squad. It was decent enough.
Stop it.
You didn't see it. So
stop it.
It was entertaining.
Look, honestly, we didn't see it.
So you can't talk about
it. But we'll we'll get to it.
Now, mind you, hold up while you turn your back on me. I'm not comparing it either to Marvel, because if that's the case, they only got one, and that's the Joker.
Okay.
So I'm not comparing none of this to Marvel. This is just in the DC universe, because it's only fair. Mm-hmm. You know, and
are you what am I asking? Not trying to be what's that, fan service. You're being honest, straight up about the quality
I'm talking about
the quality, right? Not emotion, not
no.
All right, got you. 100%, 100.
Because this is the thing. Everybody knows, and when Marvel fans talk about DC, DC fans automatically get defensive, like, oh, just because Feige over there, and they know it's awesome, but they mad that they can't get that same quality. And everybody's been saying,
is it awesome?
What? Marvel?
I just want to make sure.
Absolutely. Come on, man.
There you go. I just want to put it out there.
We already know this. Feige.
Some people don't know.
Hold on. No,
saying.
Just sidebar. I've put Feige right up under Stanley. Like, what he's done is absolutely freaking amazing with the Marvel universe. He's doing in the cinematic universe what Stan and Ditko did on paper.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Deep. I like that.
You know,
right.
that's for real. That's from the heart. But back to DC problems.
Hashtag.
And yeah, the thing is, and I believe we talked about it earlier. Even though this may be right, it's still going to be wrong. It's still going to fail because there's no connectivity, which people have been. I hate to say it, they've been
crying for the longest.
for
a
the
consistent
longest
universe.
exactly. And I know you don't like this word, but I say trained as an audience and
I know exactly what you mean. I will
as
not
far as
dispute
like that connectivity,
Right.
that we didn't never think was possible, and we know they have the same the playing field is equal, and they got the writers that make phenomenal animation movies that they drop, all the time, and everybody always asks, why don't they get the anime writers?
Okay.
And into that room. Now I know it's
Right,
a
I
different
understand.
medium, but hey, proof of concept. Look what Dave Filoni did with.
There you
Star
go with that
Wars.
proof of concept again. You're killing me with that, dude. Ain't no proof of concept.
Proof of concept.
Proof of concept.
Hey,
Love it.
just to let you know.
All right. So, Brother Parks, Jay Parks, what you got?
Oh, is it my turn? Allow me to.
Allow
me to reintroduce myself. I'm going to allow me to reintroduce myself. Honestly, I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Whoa. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, y'all recording this, right?
So this is the thing.
Whoa, wait,
This is the
whoa,
thing.
whoa,
rewind that.
Really?
You're not going to gloss over it. You're not
Check
going to
this
gloss
out.
over it.
I'm going to break it down for you.
Well, please.
Please. Allow me to retort now.
Please.
I think it's going to be a really good movie. You know why? Because it doesn't matter.
Wow. And we're back.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
As my brother to the left has said, there is no connection. This is like, to me, this is going to be the Joker. The Joker was such a good movie. And, I want to talk to those DC fans who don't think the Joker's a good movie because it was too bad. Oh, believe me, bro, I've had conversations. I've been talking.
Wow.
I've been in the streets, okay?
But
Wow.
No, I've been in the streets. Like, they're true DC fans. I thought the Joker was boring. It was too drawn out. It wasn't enough. He was just crazy. They didn't see the chemistry. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. I think this is going to be like the Joker. I think that Patterson's going to do a good job because everybody expects him to fail. I think he's going to pull it off.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a
he's a
phenomenal
good
actor.
actor.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to be a phenomenal Batman because I don't know. I just got this feeling that it's going to be good. But the problem is, it doesn't matter how good it is. It doesn't matter how great it is. They're like, this is going to be the greatest Batman. How many times can you get Batman and say this is the greatest? Keaton, the greatest. Bale, the greatest. And another thing is, we cannot compare this to Spider-Man. I'm just stopping. No, the reason I'm throwing it out there because that's what's going to happen. Because we've had multiple Spider-Man and they've had multiple Batman, and they're saying it's the same thing. No, it's not, my good friend, because we didn't own our Spider-Man, and now that we have him back, it's over. So don't compare, and I just want you to know that. Not my fault that Warner Brothers is destroying your community. It's not my problem. So all I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how good this is, it's still going to fail. Because what's going to happen is it's not going to connect to Aquaman. It's not going to connect to Shazam. It's not going to connect to what is his name?
Black Manta.
Yeah.
you
The Rock.
talking about
The Rock. Shazam.
not Shazam, but
Damn.
Wow.
DC problems.
Hold up.
Black Adam.
Yes.
It's not going to connect. The story behind this Batman, I'm not cool with. Okay, from what I
You're
understand,
familiar with the story?
Yeah,
storyline?
This is what it's been put out, and I could be wrong. So this is what I've heard and what I've read.
Okay.
The storyline is that the Riddler lived in his household.
in Batman's house?
Yeah,
Edward Nygma lived in Wayne Manor.
It's a boys' home, a group home. You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? I almost killed my homie. What's up? I almost killed my homie.
Pardon me. Wow.
From my understanding, if I'm correct, this is where the trash begins.
Ooh, my heart.
Wayne Manor is a boys' group home. The Riddler grew up hating Bruce Wayne because he was privileged. I'm sorry, you live in my house. You lucky you staying here, brother.
Facts.
You gonna hate me through life, so you know what this reminds me of?
It depends on how he's wired, though. You know what I mean?
Well, clearly he's crazy.
Clearly.
So there
yeah,
you go.
yeah.
You named yourself the Riddler. But anyway, if that's the story, and I'm not the biggest Batman reader, but I'm sure there's a story out there connected to this. That's not the way to go, if you ask me.
All right.
I just don't see that as the way to go. But what do I know?
Is this a period? Is this a period piece?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Considering that this is a one-off, they can almost do what they want to do. Now, for me, I personally am of the mind that DC has failed their city. You know, period.
Yeah.
When the animation has more life to it than the actual cinematic things, it has left me wanting to even be bothered with it anymore. When I had it started with Man of Steel and the way they changed him, and I remember what's the fella's name, the director, Snyder. I think we were in San Diego, and he said and I'm paraphrasing, but basically whatever you think Superman is, just forget about it. And I was a little put off by that because Superman was around before his grandparents were around. You don't have the right, as they did with that other franchise we talked about, you don't have the right to go in there and change up a character. Here's the biggest issue. When you switch up a character, main character like that, then every character around that character must change. The reason I say that is the reason that the Justice League is a viable property is not because of what this director did. It's because of what the comic books were and the cartoons were through the 60s and the 70s and on and on and on. And for them to change it, if you change Superman, all the characters change around him. Their first introduction in this DCU universe was Batfleck into the Justice League mix. Here's the problem. He was old. That's a geriatric Batman. You cannot join the Justice League and have a family atmosphere when Robin's already dead. Robin's dead, which means that they didn't get to grieve with him. They don't know Batman's pain. They don't know anything about that man, yet they collided them together. And I'm saying this so I can get to this Batman thing and why I have my trepidations about it. But the Wonder Woman was dope, except for the second movie, where she violated that man and just so she could have a boyfriend. And there's so much other insanity in there. The first movie was damn good until we got to the CGI, which was garbage. Same thing with Steppenwolf, garbage. But at least, no, I wouldn't even give that second Justice League, or whatever it was, any credence. Right. And then in Batman versus Superman, I forgot the cat's name, Jesse somebody, the guy that played Lex Luthor.
Oh, that was bad.
Had they put the fella that played Heisenberg in that role and he uttered the same lines, it would have been a different guy.
I can see that.
But the way he played it was like this sniveling little, he was basically playing that guy that he played on Facebook.
This guy intervened when I was a boy to deliver me from daddy's fists and abominations.
And it was just cornball. Now my biggest issue, Superman. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Superman is wherever the hell he was, and his booty was stuck in Africa under duress, right? He flies out, jumps through the hole, knocks everybody out and saves their ass. How did you find me? I listened to your heartbeat. Cool. Homeboy's mama's across the river. And he can't find her.
That's
bruh,
called bad
I
writing.
was like, yo.
That's bad writing, bro.
It was terrible.
Bad writing.
And just so that he and Batman can fight. I have no problem with Affleck's Batman. I love Keaton's Batman because I was there when the game changed, but I also love Adam West because it's Adam West, and it was dope. But my favorite is Bale, besides the voice.
Killings?
Where are they? Where's the trigger? Where is it? You never give it to an ordinary citizen. Where is it? Where's the trigger? Where is it? Where is it?
I wrote that off. I what is that, suspension of disbelief type thing, because the stories were so good. And but the third one with Bane and that, whoa, bro, you lost me again.
Be Congratulations, cost to your strength. Victory has defeated you.
So this one, I didn't care for Twilight. I don't like vampires that sparkle, but that's a personal preference. And I can't hold that against
That's what they did.
facts, man.
That's a fact.
Vampires take you out, or they're very sexy, or they're you know what I mean. They made the I know
sweet
what that
baby
was made
Jesus.
for. That was made for teens, and it did its
yeah.
job. It was absolutely beautiful and made stars of those people. So I cannot just take anything from Pattinson's acting chops because
No, he got the chops,
dude is he's no joke. Now, because of the stigma, what is that? When you get abused by somebody, DC has abused me, and they say, you know, Superman was a hit, and when you discuss it with people, the action was great. I don't give a damn about the action. Superman destroyed an entire city
Without regard.
during that
But
altercation.
they'll tell you, they'll say DC's dark.
Whatever. No,
That's
this is the problem. DC is not dark. They're chasing Marvel. They've been chasing Marvel. I mean, throughout history, the comic books, they've been going back and forth with each other. I get that part. But this one right here, what they tried to do at that time, I think what Marvel had done in 13 movies, they tried to do in 2
Too, yeah.
to catch up to them and now we need to make them dark and we need to make them brooding and serious and whatever. Tony Stark's Tony Stark. Thor's Thor. And Fly, get out of here. See what happens? Oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah, bugs.
I knocked him out. I'm one punch man today. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bye. Damn. Hold on. I'm glad we ain't live. Could you grab me some disinfectant, like, please? Caught him on one punch.
And
I
that's
still got
to, let's cut to the commercial. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. And Nerdgasm is coming back.
We really want a live audience in here. 10, 15 people, maybe 20 max. There's plenty of room in here. So we can have a good time and have a party and a little live applause and interaction with people, but we're working towards that. Where was my last point before that fly interrupted me? I was on Batfleck.
You were on
Superman can't hear across.
Oh,
the
so
water's
yeah,
line.
he destroyed the entire city, and then we were talking about him being dark.
Yeah. We got
This is where they got the math wrong on the whole damn thing by attempting to think what Marvel was doing was dark, and it wasn't. I remember, I think I told Jay this. For me, with DC comics as a child, my biggest issue was while Gwen Stacy, she was dying. You know, Goblin threw her off the thing. Her neck broke. Hank Pym, because of the gas, was beating the crap out of his wife in the books. Iron Man was battling alcoholism. In the DC books, you had these monkeys and dogs with capes flying into little cities in bottles. You know, I had a problem with that. Or Superman telling Kara telling Supergirl that she couldn't wear a short skirt. You know, stupid stuff like that. It didn't tackle anything that had any weight to me that I could relate to. So DC has never been dark as in my childhood. Mm-hmm. When Frank Miller came along, when Dark Knight came along, and they turned that corner, bless their hearts, that was great. But I was already gone. My respect for Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and Flash come from them alone, who that character is. But the Justice League, in my era, the cartoon was the monkey and the Wonder Twins and all that. So it was fun to watch. Mm-hmm. However, it was still on the same lines as Adam West, Batman.
Yeah,
right.
Casey Kasem was Robin. I think Adam West did his own voice.
Thank you and hello again, everybody. Welcome to America's Top 10.
So that was fun. But back to where this guy was, because I've been so not twice bitten, 30 times bitten. And then you turn around and watch the animated series that they have, the animated shows that they have, and they're freaking phenomenal. The script, the action, everything. They won't talk to that department. I don't know why. It's not my business, but they should. So this one, and this is where I may have been off base, but we will find out. Releasing this movie at this time is a dead zone, usually for movies. It's a dead zone. There's no holiday. It is my point, not summer, full fair summer or whatever, but Hollywood works different ways. It could be release schedules. It could be that this opening is so wide open that they could take all the money that they possibly can, and it won't be overshadowed because it's such a good movie that it needs that block to make up for, that type of thing. Or it was such a bad movie that they had no choice but to put it here because it couldn't compete in the summer or winter. However, Mark Huckabone.
Oh, hey! What up? I don't recognize this setup anywhere. What's up, man?
Who's a really good friend of the show's. He's we will have him on. He's probably the biggest toy, what do you call him? Expert on the planet.
He's a dynamo.
Yeah. He started in the business at 9 years old with Mego action figures. He's published. He's on Toy Hunters and a bunch of other stuff. We'll have him on. But he called me today because he went to one of the premieres yesterday, or actually maybe even earlier today, and he said it was the best Batman movie that he saw. And Huckabone is not one of those people to...
I had that feeling, bro.
Yeah, he's not one of those people to yap just for the heck of it. And he laid out why. He said that he's actually a detective. There's a story in there, and it's a lot. He said the movie's about 3 hours long. So cool. And then Michael DeLucio, God bless Michael DeLucio, TC, and Bill Higa.
What did TC say?
No, they're probably still watching the movie.
Okay, gotcha.
Now I want you to understand that Michael DeLucio and Bill Higa, and I hope I say his name right. I don't know if it's Higa or Higa, and I've never asked him, and I've known the man for years. If you have ever been to New York Comic Con or San Diego Comic Con and witnessed the Marvel booth, those are the guys there. Michael has his company. I think he changed the name, but it was Promo Guys. And this set that you're looking at is because of Michael DeLucio. He will design his ass off for you. Mike's a beast.
He's a good guy.
And one of the sweetest human beings that I know. So Bill as well. TC, another toy expert, and you'll see him out at the comic conventions. And he has his strong opinions about things. We'll have him on the show as well.
That's why I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's why I know.
If he says what I think he says, that means I'm gonna like it,
right?
Just because of the way TC moves.
Because TC is
So my understanding, like I said, I knew it had a detectives. They went straight comic book on this, from my understanding and hearing.
That's story. What Huckabone said.
It's a mystery.
That is exactly what Huckabone said. It's right out of a comic book.
Well, then that's what it needs to be. So then
I agree.
Once again,
we need that.
Once
again, I know what he's getting ready to say.
Who cares?
I knew it.
These DC fans.
Because it's a one-off.
Because it's a one-off. So you know what they only? You know what this is? You know what this is? It's only to say I won this round. That's all they care about.
They're fighting a battle.
Short-term thinking, cash grab, but not.
It was better than Spider-Man.
But nothing of longevity.
Yeah, that's all they're gonna care about, bro.
Yeah, because guess what? It ain't when you see. What did y'all think of the Flashpoint?
Flash who?
Flashpoint. The Flash.
I
that's
know
supposed to be.
Garbage.
Oh man,
you know what I know it's gonna be garbage.
I saw it
because it doesn't follow the comic book. And what we just said is this movie Batman is strictly like a comic book. That Flashpoint is not going to be a comic book. It's a cleanup mess. And you can't clean up mess with a mess. You're taking one of the greatest stories.
Yeah,
and you're going to turn it into a cleanup for the debacle and the bullcrap that you put out. That movie's going to be garbage. Quote me, it's going to be garbage. I know it is. I'm not going to take it back. That's what it's going to be. But this Batman, I'm just like, so what? I'm all about continuation. At this point in life, everything is a continuation. Even our TV shows, like Stranger Things, they're coming out with season 4 and 5. It's a continuation. That's what the generation is about. telling the story.
Well,
These are literally books.
That's what comic books have been about.
That's my point. It's literally books on TV.
Always on top of things. When something happens in Demon in a Bottle, Iron Man.
Yeah.
This was in the 80s. But it's crazy. I think I said this. One of the reasons I don't drink is because of that book. I watched this man destroy his whole life and company. And that's Tony Stark because he couldn't put the bottle down. But that had repercussions all the way up to this day because it's connected.
That's my point.
And once you keep dropping people off a cliff, and what is it? With the Superman, they just took people's money. And they're like, it made a whole lot of money. Yeah, it made a lot of money because they had my money. And when I got in the theater, then I realized the movie sucked. I couldn't get a refund. Yeah, you already made money.
But and then also, they want the connected. See, this is the thing. They as in
the
DC fans?
No, the company, Warner Brothers, the distribution company.
They want the connectivity.
So why they not doing it?
No, hear me out.
Yeah,
Think about it. Every movie that they drop, what do they say they want? They want a trilogy, right?
That's the biggest problem.
But that's what they want. But yet they give you a one-off.
Man.
They give you a one-off that's bad, and that they can't go anywhere, which doesn't make sense.
All right, let me jump in on this one. So here's the old way of thinking, the old hat, trilogies. And under normal circumstances, you have the first act, the second act, which is always drama, the third act cleans up and out. And that, I'm trying to remember, I can't say for sure, but I'll put it this way. Star Wars nailed that 100%. But once Uncle George nailed that trilogy thing, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Before that, it was just one-off movies. Prior to that, in the 30s and 40s, Flash Gordon, Captain America, Captain Marvel, those were serials. So you'd have to go to the theater to watch it for a nickel or whatever it was. And the story always continued. That's where he got the trilogy thing from. But once he did it, then everybody thought it was trilogy. So they blocked themselves in that you only get 3 movies. The way Marvel broke that was by them not making 3 movies. They made them across the board. So everything always connected. Warner Brothers was still stuck on that trilogy thing. I don't know who's wearing them suits up there, but they all should be fired.
Well,
they all should be fired.
Gone.
It's pathetic that they, and what they do in, what is that? Oh, these, my favorite things.
Crackers.
My crackers, man. That's saying you give a starving person a cracker, they think that's the best thing in the world. So yeah, they'll feed you the garbage and you haven't eaten in a long time. So yes, it's the best movie in the world. But in hindsight now, the other franchise we was talking about, people do realize that those last 3 movies were garbage. And they're so garbage that the 2 directors on the show, the writers, and the big dogs, they're doing their best to clean it up now. Or what do they call it now? Retcon or whatever the hell it is. So speaking of that and all that stuff, my thing is this. The term, I won't use it as a word, it's a term, reimagine, really pisses me off because it's virtually impossible to imagine something that's already been imagined.
Wait a minute.
You understand what I
lost
mean?
About this term.
Reimagine. Superman is reimagined.
When did this come about?
Don't ask me. They've been using it just like they use for word, the pre-existing conditions. It's not a pre-existing condition. It's an existing condition.
This is a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Or
I'm lost, bro. Too much.
What's the other one?
I'm
Oh,
confused.
remember they used to say solution all the time. Call up such and such for your blah 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 solutions. It's too many words, man. For your plumbing solutions. What the hell is a plumbing solution?
I'm sorry, I didn't even cut you
But
off.
yeah,
I didn't.
yeah, they reimagined the reimagining of Superman. That's what this guy is. Henry Cavill's Superman is a reimagining of Superman. No, it's not. It's what it's a person taking something that's been laid flat and successful throughout history by somebody, taking it and twisting it and now saying that is their creation. That's not creative, bro.
I know what that is.
What is it?
Exploding monkeys.
Exploding monkey. That thing.
That's what it is.
So
That's what it is. See,
anyways,
I didn't understand.
right.
Because
you feel me?
I got
so
you down.
long story short, I will not cast aspersions on this film. I'm going to go see it. We'll talk to you later.
So I have to go see.
Thank you, sir.
No,
Thank
listen. No.
Thank you.
Listen,
The round of applause. I wish I had.
Listen
Yeah, let's do it away from the mics. We're gonna round of applause.
to me.
And I swear, if we had the audience here, this is a red letter day, as they say it.
It is. Because
Wow.
This is the closest you're gonna get.
Wow.
Let me tell you something.
That's amazing.
The only reason why
That's
I'm
bloody
going to
amazing.
see it is because my brethren are telling me I have to go see it. I remember.
Have to.
Yeah, exactly.
He was.
I remember,
bro. It was 2 days ago. You're like, no, I'm
was.
not going.
Well, this is
That's why I'm so surprised.
because we had a previous conversation, like way
beautiful.
back. So
This is beautiful.
I need you to stop. Okay,
Intervention works.
Oh, fraptious day,
I need y'all to stop,
Kaloo
right?
On the frabjous day, I shall futterwacken vigorously.
No, man.
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. I had my apologies.
Look, we talked about this before. Before this podcast idea has been going for a while. We went to see certain movies. They were hot garbage, and I remember my brother over here was like, "You have to see them because you can't talk about it if you didn't see it." So I was in that mindset. Then later on, he's like, "Man, I'm not going to see nothing that DC did." He said that.
I said that.
He did. So
And
I was
I
like,
held true.
And we
true.
and we
Until-
we all
until-
agree. No, we all agree. No, I was on
So
that.
I held true
So-
until Joker,
True.
and then
Now, mind you,
You're right, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
This is
I-
across the
I
board.
swore him off.
He
I wrote
said
him
he
off.
swore it off. I said, cool, because that's all I've been wanting in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never got to tell me twice that we're not going to see some garbage. So I did not see another DC movie. They were not getting any of my money.
That's
You understand what I'm
the
saying?
biggest trick.
Getting my
Yeah.
money. DC and Fox was lined up, bro. Like
You got to earn my money. That's the
and
bottom
this
line.
This is
of
not
it.
a Marvel
Yeah.
thing, bro. This is just bad movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing it. But then they like, you gotta go see it, and I'm like,
But wait,
Is that how it
wait a
sounded?
minute though, bro. That didn't convince you. You still said no. I talked
really
to you.
did.
I talked to you. I think it was it yesterday or
Yeah.
the day before? And you're like, no. I'm like, but dude, we have to go see if we're gonna speak about it. He goes, I already know what the movie's gonna be. I was like, what is that? Garbage. I was like, okay.
thank you. But see, then I thought about it.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? I was thinking about it in my sleep. I was thinking
Not
about
dreaming.
it.
that's crazy.
Not dreaming
Not
about
dreaming.
it. He was
I was
thinking
thinking
about
about
it
it
in
in
his
my
sleep.
Right. That's crazy.
Dreaming is when you visualize. Sleeping thinking is when your eyes are closed and your brain's going. It's a difference. So it's a difference.
In the Parks world.
Look it up.
Facts.
Look it up. It's a difference. And so I'm going to go see it because one, I really have good feelings about it. But I didn't really want to see it because I didn't want to be let down, bro. Like I know it's going to be good, and then what? Then what are we doing? And I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, it doesn't have to be. Dude, this is a comic book story. If they gave you one comic book and told you that was the end of Batman stories, y'all would all flip out. If this was a comic book and they put the last Batman comic book out and it was the greatest story you ever heard, and they said, oh, there's no more Batman, DC
Yeah.
would flip out.
Can
so how
we-
come you don't do it about your
could,
movies?
Could we look at it as objectively as just a one-off? Watch that movie as it was, just like the Joker. My takeaway from the Joker, because I don't.
I'm still mad about that.
Whatever anybody says about it, that's fine. I know it explored mental illness and all of that, but I'll put to the public that who's to say that Joker was not Heath Ledger at his very beginning, and then Heath Ledger, after he reined it all in, got his power base together and everything, became that person and realized that he was a high functioning sociopath and not crazy. That's how I line those two up, because you started that way, with he had serious problems, man. And it was that movie was freaking phenomenal.
But I want you to say that again, bro. Explain that connection. Because
okay.
a lot of people are just throwing that
against
that
the wall.
feeling
Okay,
like it's nothing.
My thought process on the Joker was he did have his mental problems, and he he went through everything he went through, but what we witnessed in Joaquin Phoenix's movie was the beginnings of him when he was on the car and he looked around and saw that everybody was giving him all that adulation, and he did his thing in the end of the movie. That was the beginning of Heath Ledger's Joker. Over time, what is that thin line between brilliance and insanity type thing? The Joker was, Heath Ledger's Joker was the end result of what happened at the beginning. Right. Obviously, there's always the what are those things they have? He has multiple origins and blah, 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 all of that stuff. But for a film and for a character, what I saw was the beginnings of Heath Ledger's thing. And the only reason that Heath Ledger showed up was because Batman showed up. He made that perfectly clear.
This town deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to him.
He told those guys, I know why you're hiding.
I know why you choose to have your little group therapy sessions in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night.
And he's punked you, basically. He asked me, did your balls drop off? What happened? And he said, it's simple. We kill him. And everybody was looking at him like he was nuts. But I don't know if people missed it, but I caught it. It was my first instance of why did he kill Gamble in the movie. Yeah. And what I saw, and this was rewatching it, was Gamble immediately disrespected him when he walked in the building. When he walked in, I thought my jokes were bad. He says, what, something about if my boys put their hands on you, whatever. How about a magic trick? Put it on, make this pencil disappear. Bam! That should have got respect right then and there. Yeah, but it's gone. Now, anybody in their right minds would have been, okay, I guess we should probably listen to this fella. Yeah. So his next thing to him was, what's the matter? Did your balls drop off? Blah, blah. And he said, you see a guy like me. He called him a freak.
A guy like me. Look, listen.
And that's when you caught that mental illness.
Yeah.
He did that
like he
joint
pulled
to
himself
him.
Back. Yeah.
But he did it to Gamble like, dude, chill. And then the next one was, and it's the best one, is when he said, I forgot what it was. Never do something for free, whatever. And he goes, you're crazy. He goes,
I'm not. No, I'm not.
And his eye closed and he bit his lip. And he said, I'm going to chew your head off. And that's why he went and killed him. And even at the end, when he goes,
you think you could steal from us and just walk away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are chumps. So putting that end result, Heath Ledger, to Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is the beginning of that. That's what I see, and that's why I drew that together. I didn't take them as separate because it just didn't make sense to take it as separate. This Batman, if it's of the same quality, which I believe it is, we want to follow up with this because this was just a thing about where our heads were at before the film came out. We could get our blocks knocked off and come back here singing all kind of praises for the film, you know.
And I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. Anyway,
he sounded like an old creaking door closed.
I don't know about all that.
Now, let me run something past you guys. I want to get your opinion. Now, we've seen DC over the years. I'm gonna keep it DC. We've seen DC over the years. Well, not over the years. Over this last maybe 3 years, they pulled Marvel directors over and stayed there about a couple months.
That's just James Gunn getting the job done.
Yeah,
you know.
So now the reason why I bring this up is I noticed how what's the right word I'm looking for? Unnaturally quick Peacemaker dropped after the Suicide Squad.
Unnaturally quick in what way?
Normally, well, I mean, normally they give you your movie and they get the response. It's like, oh, this character sticks out. Let's give him his own show and see how it goes.
Also remember, this is a thing that the general public does not grasp. That movie was shot 5 years ago. It took 5 years to make Suicide Squad, from script to previs to whatever. When it hits the theaters, 3 years have already passed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But you understand what I mean. Same thing that happened with Spider-Man. And everybody was complaining and bitching about Parker's journey. And I was telling him, dude, first of all, this is not the Spider-Man this is not our Spider-Man. This is another Spider-Man. Secondly, he hasn't had any tragedy. Well, he's always under Tony Stark and he sucks and he's this and he's that. And then after this movie, they're like, oh, it's the greatest Spider-Man movie in the world. Finally, they don't understand the man's journey. He was a boy. And with him, he was 6 months out Spider-Man. Then his hero shows up, Tony Stark, at his apartment. The next day he was in Germany fighting the Avengers. Damn. Then he brought him back home, kicked him out the car, and he's like, yeah, I had churros and for 6 months. Calling Tony Stark, and Happy's watching him. And then you go, I think he was in 10th grade, right? When Stark found him. Then 11th grade shows up. He's on the school bus. He goes over to help Iron Man out fight. He went to space and got snapped. He came back 5 years later. Where the hell did he have time to become Spider-Man? He's a year and a half old. He's an infant. So
talk your talk, bro.
Point being, when they shot
Peacemaker.
No, Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever it was, the point is, they already noticed that Peacemaker was a standout.
Okay.
So they had started writing that beforehand. The amount of time it takes to put a show into production, that was already written, said, and done. So but while we were watching Suicide Squad trailers, they were shooting Peacemaker.
Okay.
So once it dropped, it was ready to go. Always keep in mind the timelines of how long it takes to make a movie. You know, that requires a lot. And let me make this clear. It's not that I'm giving Suicide Squad any points at all, because that dude, like I said, he reminds me of that guy with Bullet Man. I'm good. Right. Though it might be a good series. I won't. Actually, I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean.
Actually, it really was a good series. It was very.
I'll take your word for it. And TC said the same. Everybody said the same. I will not debate it, but I can't invest because they keep hurting my feelings, bro. DC is messing with my dopamine, and it hurts me, man, because the characters are good.
And another part of that is they even doing better on TV, which has a way lower budget. But I guess it has that connectivity.
They got better writers.
Yeah.
And everything continues. The consistency is gone. For everybody's money, for the franchise, for the history of everything, they should all do better. Proof of concept for Star Wars is not anything but what George Lucas wrote.
Are they
Proof of concept with Superman is Siegel and Schuster.
Are they still for sale?
It's there. What?
DC.
I don't know. I heard the rumors about I forgot who bought the whole AT&T, and they don't want it. They don't need it.
So can I say, let's start a petition to get them over at Disney.
But you think a petition is going to work?
Listen,
Disney going to do what Disney wants to do.
I'm just going.
People had a petition
I'm just
for
trying to
them
get
not
a job
to do.
at Disney. This is my job. This is my resume right here.
All right.
You ain't see
so
that?
Here's the question: what division do you want to work for? That's the question.
I will work in the DC division.
You're lying.
I would. You know why I would? Because I know what's about to happen. I will never write for them as long as they're where they are. I will never work for them as long as we're there. And I had opportunity twice to do something for them, and I refused because I don't do trash. But what I would do is, when Disney decides to pick them up off the ground, pick your face up. Come on, walk over here.
Dust
your
yourself
Dust yourself. You know what was coming. You know what's coming.
If it first it don't succeed.
I'm just saying, man, if you want to get better quality constantly, consecutively, come on over here to Death Row.
This dude.
He ain't gotta be
classic. We need to quit giving DC trophies for losing.
Amen
DC
to that.
trophies.
We need to stop giving them trophies for losing.
That was a good clean. You know how you
see how I did that?
I saw you did that.
Right.
Man.
Quick on my feet.
I see you.
That's because I got Miss Minutes right here guarding the
I
Batmobile.
see you.
Yeah.
Slow down time right there.
That's the thing. If we want quality films, then you have to demand that. And the way you do that is just not give them your freaking money.
But see, the problem is, and this is the biggest problem, a lot of people that aren't comic fans are going to watch Marvel movies because they just, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That part of it. And they're not a part of the fandom. They're fans.
The fanboys.
They're not the fanboys. Yeah.
You mean moms and dads?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily
I
moms
was like
and
my
dads.
mom and
The
dad.
fair weather people, the people who come to it not through the comic books.
But they came through it through the
Yeah,
MCU.
I've said this before. We came to the movies through the comic books. People are now coming to the comic books through the movies. So they're chasing things.
And they don't understand. And
Why
this
were you
is-
upset?
No, not. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't understand about.
They
the
don't
DC.
understand.
So,
Yeah.
and then the bigger part is what you go to all the time is, excuse me, especially like for example, we're talking about WandaVision, and everybody
Disparaged it. Yeah.
It's because they're the ones that's going to the comic books through the movies or through the
Right.
TV show.
Right.
Now,
and
they
when
may
you try
look-
to explain it,
they don't.
They beat you
know.
down. They don't want to hear it. Yeah, understood.
But it's the population of them are so large. They're talking so loud that if Marvel listened to them, they would tank. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
So-
agreed. The same thing when remember when brother Bozeman died.
Yeah.
And everybody immediately, don't recast the role. Don't recast the role. Give it to Shuri. Give it to Shuri. And we're not going to try to get on Marvel because we're really talking about DC right now and Batman. But
You may wanna
it's
hold it.
within context of what we're talking about. I will say this, and don't take this with a grain of salt. There used to be a time before we were all connected that there was every city or every town or hamlet had a village idiot in the town. And learned people would get together and speak to each other about whatever, it could be the Greeks, it could be Uncle John and everybody talking in the neighborhood. But that idiot would always come up and disrupt the conversation and, hey man, get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're talking about, mind your business. So the idiot had a choice. Go study up on the subject, come back and be part of the conversation, or forever remain the village idiot. Every village idiot has a keyboard and a computer now. You understand what I mean? So when you got a million village idiots who get together and they echo what each other's opinions are, they now have a movement and they think they're right. That's the problem.
And
that is a huge problem. So
now apply that to DC.
I will apply to anything. That's what I mean. So if you know how the Flash moves, if you know how Green Lantern moves, and you watch it, and you go, that's not how he moves. The village idiot, with respect to every village idiot out there, you know who you are.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
First
In
of
this
all,
context,
I'm not
because I'm not
respecting
calling
none of that.
anybody an idiot. But my point is, if you know exactly how that person should move, but they fed that person, a starving person, crackers, they will debate to you and tell you that you're wrong or you're a hater or something like that. When you actually know
What I'm
that this
talking
man
about.
ring works this way and it doesn't work this way, and what they gave you was garbage, and it gave them a lesser version of what the character really was. So they didn't get the full birth of it, and you're upset not at them for liking it, but upset at DC for giving them a lesser character.
Exactly.
That they could
And
it could expand their minds or something, whatever. I don't know what it is. It could be anything.
or push the creativity to write a better story.
Push it forward.
Yeah, but the bigger part
Path
of
of
that
least
is-
resistance, least common denominator, low hanging fruit, all of that.
Yeah, but they get the money, so they think the suits,
It's a success
The
because
suits think it's exactly. Which
when you're sitting there with your brain knowing what you know, and you're like, this is absolute garbage. That Suicide Squad, that poor girl that they hired for the villain, who was up there shimmying and shaking and doing all, I was like, yo, this is insane.
Start with an E.
I don't know. Respect to her.
Enchantress. The
Enchantress. That was insanity, dude.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad was great. Oh, it had great fight scenes. I'm not there for the fight scenes. I'm there for the entire movie.
For the story.
They're going to fight. That's what they do. But now you take Vader and you turn him into a guy who's bringing somebody flowers, because right now every man is bringing flowers to girls out here. That messes up the character. It messes up the character.
But they want to see Vader with a heart.
Then create a character with a heart. Don't take a character that's already been established, mess him up, or her. Wonder Woman literally violated a man.
I really love it when you let your head down. Pitch black, flowing right. Everything you do is tight. Craving what you're bringing, baby. Hard to keep my head right. One with the universe, pressing, testing them limits. Out in your back, trip, girl, you know you can get it. So what you want now? Don't need to show me out. Reach what I practice, wanna put them hips on lockdown. Bedroom, Bruce Lee, shoulder bending.
That blew my mind, and they just let it slide. Forget the fact that the cat that's playing Mandalorian now played a terrible role. They put him in a bad position to have him even do stuff like that. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, all the way around.
All the way around. And,
And
DC did it.
And the moments that were kind of cool couldn't save it.
Were there?
There was a couple. There was a couple.
You know
cool.
what?
Like
I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. You're talking about the part where when they were flying and the fireworks went over the airplane. That was a dope scene, man. That was the greatest
so
superhero
crazy?
moment ever.
I don't know because I didn't watch that garbage. Listen, enough about the garbage.
But this is the thing. I didn't think because after watching the first one, I had high hopes that
why I told you not to.
Because the first one was
a good film, man.
So
It was a
leading
good
up to
film.
the second one. No, leading up to
And
the
then
second
we already talked about what your problem was with it, but that's how it was in the 40s when they wrote that book.
You know why?
It was during World War II.
But this,
and that's what her story was.
Can I tell you how much that proves my point? It was so Captain America.
That is the era that she came up in.
I know, you're right.
And
I'm
the
not
Nazis
disagreeing
were
with
the
it.
catalyst.
It was so Captain America, like Marvel. They didn't know what else to do with it. There was nowhere else to go. Captain America 2. Nope, stop it. Captain America 2 went a whole nother route. It went into a whole nother. It went forward.
But that's what it was supposed to do.
That's exactly what they did.
They did exact
and
same
what
thing.
they did with Wonder Woman was bring her to the 80s because they were trying to chase
Captain America.
No, they were trying to chase Miss Carter's nostalgia from the 80s.
But it's the same thing. They didn't know what to do because they copied the same format.
They didn't copy. Why do you keep saying copy? Wonder Woman's story. Okay, let me ask you. Was her story in that movie the story that was in the comic book?
Yes, sir.
So they didn't copy anything.
Oh my God!
Captain America and her almost followed the same thing, but it didn't because Steve was jacked up on the juice and he got the Vita rays. He did what he did. She was born that way. She came here. She fought, but she did not get frozen. She's just long lived. And what they did in the TV series was they started her in the 40s and then they moved it to the 80s. That's what they followed. They followed Linda Carter's show. But what they should have done was give her an adventure.
Yeah.
Either after Justice League or whatever movie she was in before that came out, or when it led her up to seeking out the guys from the Justice League. Not that insanity that they did. It's pathetic.
That's what they had. They had checklists. That's exactly what they had with that movie.
Damn
they had
checklist.
Okay.
What's popular today?
Exactly.
What are the kids watching today?
Exactly.
What exploding monkey can we give them today?
Exactly.
Listen, I have a question about Batman. Now, this is just me being hopeful. This is the young version of me.
This is the
that I used to understand DC mattered.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the little kid in me. He's un poquito, not very big. Okay. I'm just.
He speaks Spanish.
Is it possible that Flashpoint can change everything so much that they erase Ben Affleck and pull Patterson in?
No, because
this is where Marvel has messed up the game.
But can it?
No, I don't think that.
I don't think they will. But
no, it's not. This is a standalone film.
Yeah, it's
remember.
Not connected.
I'm already trying to help. That's a little me trying to help.
And Affleck was dope.
I know that
he was. Man, I love that suit. I love.
But the reason why
everything is just the context in which they use this character.
The reason why I say they had to get rid of him is because if Patterson moves in, he would be the Batman going forth.
Then everything would still be messed up.
But it wouldn't.
Stand him next to Henry Cavill's Superman and start laughing with me.
But you also got to remember,
because Cavill's Superman, regardless of how they chumped him, regardless of how they chumped him, he's a very powerful Superman.
Yeah.
Very powerful Superman. Just in his frame.
Posture,
in his frame. So Patterson would have to.
But he's young too. So
this is a very young.
Yeah, and I really think that this is like I said,
it's a one-off.
Dated. Even though it's a one-off, I think it's like still supposed to be older like 90s.
Early. It's just,
it's early.
From what Mark, what Huckabone told me, he said it was like his first round.
Year one.
First little bit of,
Year one,
whatever.
correct.
But it was, you could see from there where he would go.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
He's not going anywhere though.
Yeah. So I think we'll revisit this as soon as we watch it and see if our thoughts are right.
What's your last opinion?
Me. I think it's going to be a decent film. I think it's going to be a decent film, and it may surprise me. I don't think it'll be as bad as I thought it was. I do understand Batman. I don't dislike DC that much. I understand Batman
much.
Yeah. And Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and at the bottom of it would be Flash.
I think it'll be entertaining. I think the saving grace will be the villains. I really do. I think it's going to be decent. I think it's going to be entertaining. I'm not going to compare it to Marvel since Marvel has set the bar, but I'm leaving on the DC bar, which is very low. So it's going to be decent. It's going to be definitely watchable. And I choose mine like if I'm upset that I paid money for it or not. So at this point, I don't think I'll be upset paying money for it.
Gotcha.
You saw.
It doesn't matter. That's what I feel. It doesn't matter if it's good or not, because it's going to be a conversation, and then we're going to talk about Batman and how he's part of this slew of Batman and the society of Batman. It should be a round table of Batman by now, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to do anything with the character. So if it's really good,
we don't know that, because if it do well, they may say, you know what, we got something. Because
you're right. You're right. They're gonna make a trilogy.
3 is a magic number. Yes, it is.
But then you're getting a different look at a different Batman,
and then it's over.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. Did we not just say that he can't connect to the universe?
But listen, hold on.
So if he can't connect to the universe,
are you gonna let me finish?
But if he can't connect to the universe, so where's he going?
Are you gonna let me finish?
Sure, answer that one.
All right. Let's just say somebody smart stepped into that DC office.
God, here we go.
No, I'm just saying. And hypothetically, let's say they had the common sense that it's flowing around these two desks here. And they say, you know what? We got some gold. We scratched the surface on something real good with the Batman and the Joker. And let's say they do a second one and it does well.
Second,
the Batman.
Okay.
Second, the Batman. And what about if they say, okay, we know that didn't work. That we know that the Flashpoint failed, and we know that all that Snyder stuff failed, and we're not bringing back Snyder, which they've openly said. It will make it kind of would make sense if somebody stepped in and say, okay, we got these 3 movies that we know worked, that's proven concept, and then build up a universe along that line.
They're not that smart.
Thank you.
That's totally what I said. If somebody smart walked in there.
That totally negates the whole conversation we just had.
Yeah, that whole thing. That's wishful drinking, brother.
But the reason why I say that is because it's not owned by those suits that has given us everything.
Neither was the Joker, and it never came back.
Yeah.
To my point in the beginning,
they're still chasing the rabbit, man. They're chasing Marvel.
To my point in the beginning, it's not going to happen. It's not going to amount to anything.
And actually, I know he's about to wrap it up, but one more point. Jay has made a very clear point about like how many characters does DC have, and which ones do they keep recycling?
Thank you. They got
Batman, Joker,
come on,
Catwoman.
Man.
They're doing the Riddler now. The last one they did in film was Jim Carrey, but because dude ate him up so well in Gotham, they threw him in there. Penguin they haven't touched because of what Danny DeVito did in the film. Which it was a little bit, it was phenomenal, but it was a little bit too much for that era, right? And but they did Two-Face, and then they killed him. But there's other characters, not villains. I'm talking other characters that they can do. But is it really? Because they only use Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Superman. Who else do they have?
They got a slew.
No, let me go. Thor, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Photon, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord. Let's just keep naming them off. The characters that Marvel has that they are able to create meaty stories about, they're still going. They just put Moon Knight on television. In there, Werewolf by Night, Blade, Black Knight, Eternal.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Superman, Batman, Joker, Wonder Woman, Flash. That's it. They did Arrow, but they didn't have them in the Justice League movies. There's a reason for that. They can't write those characters properly. The Joker is the reason that I'm going to see this. TC texted me, and but he said it was the ish. Yeah. But
that means there was a lot of good fight scenes in there.
That means there was a lot of fight scenes because TC likes fight scenes.
He likes to see somebody get their nose busted all the time.
Yeah, that's what he likes. So I still have to go see it to watch Batman be the multifaceted character that he really, really is. He just because he's going around beating the hell out of people, that doesn't mean anything. You know, how does he handle his parents' death? What's the dynamic between him and the Penguin and everything? Did he hear about the Joker? What's his relationship with Lieutenant Gordon and stuff like that? The cast is like no joke.
Yeah.
You got Patterson in there, Zoe Kravitz, who's been she's been pushing her weight around.
Yes,
you know,
she's
getting her stuff together.
Absolutely.
Paul Dano, that kid's been around a long time, and I think he's playing the Riddler. His face alone, his thing. So that could be pretty damn good. Jeffrey Wright, duh, you know, duh, and then Colin Farrell, you know.
Say less.
I don't know what that brother did that got him, you know, pushed off to the side a little bit where he had to take a breather. It had to be something deep.
Right.
But when he was rocking in his first rounds out, boy, he's ready to slay Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he is no joke as an actor. So that type of cast together, I can't see it being garbage. It's not like we're sitting here, we're all men, adult men with stuff in our lives and things to do. These are our myths. These are our stories. This is like somebody disrespecting Robin Hood for somebody who was born in the 1920s and 30s, or King Arthur's Round Table and things like that. That's what it is. And it's escapism. I'll give it that part. But just respect the characters. The same with the Star Wars franchise or the Marvel heroes or anything. These things don't decide how you move through life, but they do add certain things. Like I said, Tony Stark. He's an alcoholic. He destroyed his life. I'm not drinking. Done. Right. It was just that simple. Other things that was said in the books as a child that embed in your head. So when you get to adulthood and they finally bring them to life after your imagination has seen, you know, you're in Harlem. You walk around, I bet you any amount of money you're looking up at them buildings, imagining Spider-Man swinging his ass across the building, or Luke Cage walking through and saying, "What's up?"
It's you. No, man, it's you.
Life.
That's my point. So now, Now when you get to the point where they're actually capable of bringing those people to the screen,
absolutely,
and
they're supposed to be,
right, and they do that character justice, it's a good feeling. You know, these are the things that kept us
sane.
If that, I mean, I'll never be sane, but you know what I mean.
Leveled.
Yeah, it kept us going. So, in that is the spirit in which we are talking about it. It's not like it's our lives in the world or end. If it doesn't, it's just disgusting to have somebody insult your intelligence. It's really that simple. That's where we're coming from with it, and I hope they do it right. And
hope so.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. As soon as we watch the movie, we'll come back on and talk about it, and then we'll move on to something else. I said earlier, if anybody had caught it in the previous post, that we're nearing 100 subscribers, and I thank you guys. There will be a giveaway to that 100 subscriber, and I have no problem gifting people certain things when good things happen. I also wanted to say that the auction site, it's called Whatnot.
Got it.
Yeah, Whatnot. there'll be pieces on there that I'll start auctioning off, and it will be from the Marvel Legends to Star Wars to you name it. It's all in this building. And I'll put the it's Nerdgazms Vegas on the app, whatnot. Get the app, drop a like in. I haven't done anything yet because I am making sure that there's enough people to do this with. Yeah. We will go live. And to go live for 50 people is great. To go live for 20 people is great. It'd be great to go live. It is 500 people on there, 150, 200, because now we can have an engaging conversation. Subscribe if you want, if you like what we're doing, and check it out. But even if you get on and you want to throw a comment in there, by all means do it. There were some cats that wanted to comment, but they didn't want to be jumped on, by the nerd community type thing. And I had to make it absolutely clear that I had not up in here.
Not up in here!
Not up in here!
And we are literally in control of every comment, and we want to keep this positive and a good discussion. I don't care if anybody disagrees. It's dope. That's what discussion's about. Everybody who speaks the same thing, that creates a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. I'm good. And thirdly, the ultimate goal, I would say the mid goal, is to have a live audience in here. If you're in town, you want to come in and watch a show, that's great. And lastly, what's her name? What's her name, Jay?
Jessica.
What's her name?
Jessica Potts.
Jessica Potts.
Oh,
yeah.
We were taking auditions for Jessica Potts.
Combinations
Jessica
of Jones
and Miss Potts.
And, Pepper Potts.
Did you guys screw this up? Are you kidding me?
We need that good energy.
Yeah.
And she better be a nerd.
Got to be a nerd.
You can't just look good and not
I
don't
care
That's
about
a waste of time.
That's
a waste of time.
Yeah, gotta be drooling. That was funny.
I'm
serious.
Honestly, it's necessary.
I can't.
She has to be a nerd, he or she, but preferably Jessica Potts is the name. T-shirt that has the name on it and everything. But we have an extra.
No Michael Potts.
Okay, we have an extra seat here, and this seat belonged to Kevin. Kevin's gone, but that mic is empty, and that dynamic needs to be filled by someone who knows what the hell they're doing. It could be a rotating seat, in and out. I don't care who comes in. We have friends, Martha, for instance. She said she'd come on, talk with us. Huckabone said he'd come in. TC said he'd come in.
Brother Reed he said whenever.
That's what I mean. We got people to come in, but in this building, I can do a lot. I've done a lot. I could use somebody in here to help me do it. So if someone's out there that wants to do it, let me know. We'll talk. And this also includes the cons. This includes the road and everything else. So that's that. We'll get back to this Batman thing when it's all said and done, because at least we got about a week window.
Yeah, not about Friday.
Well, I'm talking about a week window to get back to the subject, because I don't like chasing rabbits and doing all of this. And we're a little late doing this one, but everybody had stuff to do. So this Batman conversation, we'll leave it where it sits, and on to the next subject. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you.